Hello and welcome to my meditation. My name is Debra Baker and I'm so delighted that you've joined us for this little while. I was doing some meditating and looking through some of my old recordings and videos last night and actually over the last few days, and I realized we just need one to just chill, to just let go, to just settle in without any agenda, without a lot of words. So and then I stumbled across something earlier today that I found very interesting, and it was talking about trying to release cortisol in our bodies, and that there's a trigger point that helps with that. So I thought maybe for this meditation we could try that. And so it's, wait a minute, gotta get my timer. So you're supposed to keep your finger there for 30 seconds. So I'll just time it for us. So let's just place the finger right here. So you take your index finger, or whatever finger you want, and you place it right here between your eyebrows. Just gently, just touch it there so that your body feels as though you don't have to push real hard or anything, which I did, and I almost got a bruise because I wasn't thinking about it. I was just pushing, concentrating on pushing it. And so let's just begin our meditation. Just place your finger, whichever one you want, right here gently. Take a deep breath, and I'll time it for us. I'll try. Okay, so it says for 30 seconds. So let's, while we're doing this, start our deep breath. So take the first one into the top of your lungs. Hold it for a moment and release it nice and slowly. And now take the next one a little deeper. Hold it for a moment and release it nice and slowly. And now take the deepest breath you've taken all day. And bring your hand down. Hold it for a moment and release it. So that was 30 seconds. So, we're going to get started on our meditation, or officially get started on a meditation. You ready? And if at any point you want to just gently place your hand there, take a deep breath and let it go. Just gently though, just enough so that your body feels that there's a connection there. All right, let's get started. I'm hoping that maybe some butterflies will land on my butterfly bush while we're meditating. If any of you peek or have your eyes open, I don't recommend it. The easier way to meditate is with our eyes closed. So we've taken our deep breath. Now let's settle in and settle in and settle in. So instead of doing the tensing and releasing, I would imagine that if you are even a somewhat regular meditator, and even if you're not, it feels better to just relax. So imagine that you're like on sand, if you like sand, or you're on something that can allow you to settle in. I've heard that the feather beds from years and years ago were like this. So just imagine your body settling in and settling in, and whatever this is you're lying on, whatever natural surface, maybe it's sand, maybe it's your backyard, maybe it's a hammock, maybe it's a raft on water, but just imagine wherever you are that you are getting more and more relaxed and your body is settling in. So feel your feet just kind of let go. And I like this idea of whatever we're on is just, naturally draining our stress and tension, or anything, any angst, any brain wave that's going to keep us from experiencing the brain wave of meditation. And I'm in the backyard today, and you can hear the locusts, or the cicadas, I guess. And I just love the sounds of nature. I think it's so precious to remember that we are having these human experiences in this awesome place. Just settle in. Your feet and your legs settle in. Notice muscles you weren't even aware of in your legs, releasing, relaxing, letting go. All around your knees. Your upper legs. Just feel your legs getting really, really heavy. And now notice your pelvis. All around your tailbone and your sacrum. Like somebody tapped into them and are releasing any stress or tension around your root chakra and your sacral chakra. The red at the tailbone, the orange just below your navel. Just feel that just letting go. And as you release any stress or tension in your lower torso, let's together observe the sounds of the cicadas, because they get louder and quieter. You notice they're getting quieter now. What if they have some sort of secret code? To me, it's pretty amazing. All of nature. Letting go and settling in. Feeling any shame or regret or guilt, just like eroding, melting away, blowing away. Because truly you have nothing to be ashamed of, nothing to feel guilty of. You may have things that you would have done differently, knowing what you know now, or even knowing what you knew then, but you didn't have the courage to do what you needed to do. Let's give ourselves grace. Let's give ourselves grace that we are and we have been doing the best we can. And now feel that relaxation all the way up to your waist, as though from your waist down your whole body is just sunk in. Anything going on with your digestion is just working smoothly. And as you feel your body just sinking down and letting go, notice your midsection now and your rib cage. And there's lots of crazy little muscles all over our body. You know, it's kind of, you think about a neighborhood and there's this little connecting street there you didn't know was there, or this house has an alley behind it. That sort of thing is like our bodies, in that there's all sorts of connective tissue we're not aware of, and fascia, and tendons and ligaments and cartilage. And so let's picture all of that just relaxing. Relaxing and letting go. All those little all that connective tissue between all of your ribs. Relaxing and making breathing really easy. I just looked up at the blue sky with some fluffy white clouds and the green trees, and isn't this an amazing place where we live? This beautiful earth, our home for right now. Notice how freely your breath is moving all the way down to the bottom of your torso. And whether you realize it or not, your heart is beating very freely and gently. Your brain has already shifted to the brainwave of meditation. And I feel my whole body just relaxing and going into this kind of bliss. And I hope yours is too. So be sure that your hands are supported and comfortable. And notice your hands and your wrists and your lower arms. Your elbows, your upper arms. Letting go. And all that moving into your shoulders and all your responsibilities just sliding off your shoulders for this short while. Just let it all go. And consider that maybe you don't have to pick it back up, all of it, when you're finished. Feel it moving into your neck. And all the way into your head. Your brain is already relaxed and peaceful. And so it's just sending out waves of relaxation all through your head. One of the things that we learn from nature is that everything is cyclical. There are cycles in everything. You know, one year the garden is in full bloom and everything looks fantastic, and the next year you get a late frost and you don't get a whole lot of blooms. And you know, and the next year's maybe a recovery year. Everything moves through these cycles, you know, as we go through the year. You know, we start out in winter, and if you're in the northern hemisphere, it's, you know, we start out in winter. If you're in the southern hemisphere, you start out in summer. But just thinking about being in winter when everything is cold and possibly frozen, not growing, the leaves are not on the deciduous trees. You know, a lot of things have, you know, died back to the ground. And the cool thing is, you know, like peonies and daylilies and lots of other plants and bushes, they go completely dormant and completely non-existent over the winter, and then they come back in the spring with little buds in the ground, and then before you know it, they're leafed out and blooming, and then you get summer when it's hot maybe, or just warm, when everything's in full bloom, The cicadas are singing us their songs. We get to wear lighter clothing in the summer. Let our skin breathe. And then fall comes along and we see the transition begin with the changing of the leaves and the plants dying back. And that definitive day when we have our first frost. And sometimes the cycles change with a marked time, the first frost or the first day that's over 50 degrees or whatever. And other times they just kind of seem to fade from one to another. And it's this beautiful transition. And so whether you're in a transition period in your life or, in a pretty stationary phase, whatever it is, it's right where you are, where you need to be right now. And with all the wisdom that I want to share in the meditations, my guides are reminding me that sometimes we just need to reset and settle in and allow our bodies to do what they do so well, which is to take care of themselves. If we stop putting them and there's our plane. Doesn't seem to matter what time of day I record these. At the end of our meditations, there's a little small two-seater plane goes over. So let's just remember that all is well, and all is well, and all is well. And to let go. And to remember that we truly have everything we need when we need it. And to appreciate our bodies. And if you want to continue this meditation, continue in this meditative state, where your body is just so relaxed and peaceful, press pause on the meditation now, and stay there as long as you want to, or as long as you need to, or even fall asleep. Whatever works for you, It's your life. Just notice how wonderful it feels to let go and be peaceful and to know that all is well and all is well, and that you are whole and perfect exactly as you are, and the one presence moving in, through, and as me honors and recognizes the one presence and the one power moving in, through, and as you. Namaste. Have a wonderful week, and thank you so much for tuning in.